You are listening to the TGB Report, brought to you by the FPRN Radio Network. Now live from State College, Pennsylvania, here's your host, Thomas Brown.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, I am finally back. Been away for 2 weeks. Had to take care of some health issues, and all's now well with me. Glad to be back, and here on the FPRN Radio Network, hosting the TGB Report for this Wednesday, the second day of May, 2014. A lot going on today in the news. We're going to get to what we're going to be talking about today in a minute, but I just wanted to first thank the folks at FPRN Radio for taking care of my show while I was away, taking care of these issues. And I definitely want to thank Jamie Martin from the Big Plantation. He did an excellent job hosting my program last week. And I know he usually does his show with other folks. And I understand that this was his first show where he hosted a show solo, and it was a very professional, great host. I thought he was a long time host and did a great job. So I want to thank him again. I really appreciate it. Again, this is Tom Brown, and we're on the FPRN Radio Network. And if you want to talk to us today, you could do so by calling us by phone or on Skype. Skype, you could get a hold of us at FPRN Radio Live, and that's one word, FPRN Radio Live. And you could call the show by phone, and I'd love to hear from you today, as this is a show where you could call in and let us know your thoughts on what we're discussing or something you want to talk about. The number, as I said, is 567-314-9296. What I wanted to discuss today is dealing with the GM debacle and their recall of cars, and why this, my thoughts on why it occurred. And in addition, the cost of money that we wasted bailing the automobile industry out, General Motors in particular, back in 2008 when they were going to go bankrupt or shut down, or go bankrupt, and why regulation is a bad idea and has caused a lot of these problems that have occurred today. I'm sure many of you have heard about it, the recall. If not, just to refresh some of you or inform some of you, GM had issue with their ignitions, where the key, apparently, if you had too many things on the keychain, the the ignition was faulty in that the key would slip while in motion. So while you're driving down the road, it would slip from being in the on position to actually shutting the car off, which would, as many of you know, or should probably know, it would cause the power steering to not work, so you can't turn the wheel, um, you can't brake or stop, and will cause accidents. In fact, in one documented case, it's confirmed the cause of death of a 16-year-old girl by the name of Amber Rose uh, from Maryland back in July of 2005. Now, this precedes the automobile bailout, so the government was aware of problems with these cars long before they gave them a bailout. But we'll get the bailout issue in a moment. But the the car crashed, and tragically she died. And in 2007, uh, the regulators informed GM that uh, Amber Rose's car crash was indeed caused by this, but they decided not to do any type of investigation or take any corrective action in dealing with the issue that caused the crash. Well, now you've got approximately 2.6 billion cars that are being recalled to fix this problem, as many more reports of people crashing and having this issue happen and having near crashes. In fact, in 2005, a full, a full 2 months, I believe it was May of 2005, an engineer at the GM plant for the Saturn Ion noticed a problem with actually, I apologize. It wasn't the Saturn Ion. It was the Cavalier. They noticed a design problem with the ignition system, and they used the same ignition system across all of the GM automobile fleet that had key start engines, because, as you know, many of you know, uh, many cars now have push button starts, but these key start automobiles, um, they had these problems, and he designed a a fix, and he was rejected as it was too costly to fix. Well, in 2005 or July, the crash happens, and we're here today where we have all these cars being uh, recalled. And the reason I wanted to bring that up is none of this should have happened if we actually had um, a free market economy. Uh, and this is one prime example. It's a tragic example, but it's a prime example of what happens when government interferes in the marketplace. You see it across many many fields. You see what's going on in healthcare. I mean, we already had government interference, and you saw how bad healthcare was before the Affordable Care Act, which is an ironic name. But you always, if you look at bills, the titles are always the complete opposite of what they actually do or uh, do for the people in general. It's sort of like a 1984 newspeak where up means down, left means right, dark means light. So by having government interference, starting with regulations by the National Transportation Safety Administration, where they require a X amount of miles per gallon, instead of letting the market dictate it by allowing people, the consumer, to decide what they want in their car, and then as many of you who understand true Austrian economics and study Austrian economics know that the consumer will dictate to the manufacturer or the distributor of the product what they want, how they want it, and the price point, with this handy dandy little tool called a dollar. And if they don't like your product and somebody's making a better product, well, they'll go to them. So you'll innovate or you'll die. So as a company, well, they get involved and they regulate smaller car companies, in this example, out of the marketplace, and they either shut down or they sell off to another larger car company, as GM has done. They've consolidated and bought Saturn, which is no longer available. Lincoln, a whole host of cars and brands are now under the GM umbrella. And basically all due to regulations. And speaking of regulations in the car industry, they've now decided that cars have to now mandatorily by 2017 come with rear view video to aid you while you're backing up. Now, I think that's a great feature. But if you don't want that feature, you shouldn't have to pay the price.